Of Uganda, Sheikh Ramadan Mubaje led the prayers and urged Muslims to continue living in harmony with their non-Muslim brothers and sisters.
Thousands of Muslims thronged different mosques across the country to celebrate al-Fitr to mark the end of Ramadan. At Old Kampala National Mosque, Eid prayers were led by His Eminence the Mufti of Uganda, Dr. Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaje. During his sermon, Sheikh Mubaje appealed to the President to fasten the enactment of the anti-gay bill.
As Muslims, as religious leaders of different faiths, as human beings who know what is good and what is bad, we are eagerly waiting for His Excellency to sign that law. Otherwise, we are worried that Shaitan might be working around the clock to fail that law being signed into operation. It is our request that His Excellency answers the pleas and the prayers that he signs that bill into law.
Mubaje also took a swipe at the conflicting parties in the ongoing crisis in Sudan, urging them to resolve the conflict and avoid bloodshed.
We are deeply saddened and embarrassed by the situation which is taking place in the Sudan, in Khartoum. Muslim brothers who say La ilaha illallah Muhammadan Rasulullah are the ones killing each other. As we talk now, the whole city or more cities are in smoke. Bodies are falling, people are dying. They are not performing the idiots we are doing. It is very bad.
Muslims were also urged to fast the 6 days of Citadel in order to complete Ramadan in the right way.
We have started the month of Shawwal with the Eid al-Fitr prayers. We shall also fast 6 days of this month as recommended by our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And we prepare, if we have ability and capacity, to go in Makkah and fulfill the obligatory and fulfill the 5 pillars of Islam.
Congregants expressed their joy towards successful completion of the holy month of Ramadan.
And Alhamdulillah, we have benefited a lot from it. And may Allah reward us abundantly from the ibadat we have done.
You know, as this economy was, it was just so simple. Yeah, Allah has helped us and passed through the Saul. Inshallah.
They can give to the Muslims out there and see they should always fast, they should always pray to Allah that they should get more blessings, I mean.
Sada Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Thank you so much, Sadat Mubale, for that report. Now, Prince Kasim Nachibinge has declared the sorry state of roads in the country and asked the government to increase on the budget for their construction and renovation, especially the ones within Kampala city. Nachibinge says that the roads in the city are pathetic and have resulted into loss of lives. Watch.
This is Prince Kasim Nachibinge's home, and seen here is a cross-section of Muslims he hosted to celebrate Eid al-Fitr after prayers at Chibuli Mosque. Nachibinge appealed to all road users to be careful while on the road in order to avoid road carnage.
Ekigambo ky'enguudo kisusse, tutandise okulwanaganira akatundu akamu akasigaddewo era ekivaamu kukoonagana. Ebinnya bituuse okubanga emmotoka esobola okubuliramu mu kimu ate n'ojja nawo n'ogituulako. Tubasaba bannaffe mukole ku kigambo ky'enguudo wano ewaffe e Kampala. Twebaza nnyo ze musobodde okukola mu bitundu ebitali bimu ne Congo naye wano ewaffe nabo tubasaba mujjeeza wano najo mulyo nga mugikolako.
He asked government through the Works Ministry to make sure roads have signposts to direct drivers.
Obubenje bususse buli kaseera otunuulira ku TV okwo ne ku maleediyo obubenje bussa abantu bannange tugondere amateeka g'ebyoku nguudo tube nga twewala endiima tusomenga obupande obw'oku nguudo tuleme kugwa mu bizibu na kuleetera abalala bonna bizibu.
Prince Kassim Nakibinge's remarks comes at a time when social media platforms are awash with campaigns aimed at exposing locations of various roads riddled with potholes within the city. The Supreme-moved Sheikh Mohammed Galabuzi said government should allocate enough funds for the city development. Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago was, however, dismayed by the increasing cases of corruption.
Bayise budget ekibuga kivunze. Obuwumbi omukaaga bwe bagambye nti bwe batuwadde obwo buswazi buntuntu temuli kantu era tebulina kye bugenda kukola. Enguudo za Kampala zivunze jjajja ne zijja wano ewuwo ne bwe tutandika kuba kirakka tubanga abatunga empala enkadde w'okuba ekiraka wano nga kijja walala so ekyo tekijja kusoboka ate tulina n'okutya nti obwo obuwumbi omukaaga gye buyita.
The Kabaka of Buganda, Ronald Muwenda Mutebi II, in his speech, read by Deputy Prime Minister for Buganda Kingdom, Twaha Kawase, asked government to invest in more social services for the development of the country. The Chibuli Muslims also want government to release all political prisoners arrested before, during and after the 2021 elections and are still being held at various detention facilities in the country. Different political icons attended Idi prayers at Chibuli Mosque, Sudat, Kaye and Juma Nsamba. UBC News.
The Imam Masjid Zuhura, Sheikh Abdul Karim Muchigozi, have emphasized the need to officially facilitate imams so that they can concentrate on preaching the word of God. Chigozi raised the concern during Eid prayers in Bunamwaya and Fufu, where Muslims from different mosques gathered to celebrate Eid al-Fitr.
Muslims have been asked to continue with the faith they have exhibited during the holy month of Ramadan. This has been disclosed during Eid al-Fitr prayers in Bunamwaya and Fufu, Wakiso district, where imams emphasized the need for proper facilitation so that they can focus on spreading the word of God.
Abawalimu baffe basomesa baseeka abawalimu basomesa eddiini bayambibwako ku misaala kubanga bakola emirimu gy'amaanyi nnyo ku mizikiti naye ate tebalina nsako yonna gy'oyinza kugamba nti ebaweebwa oluvannyuma lw'omwezi oba oluvannyuma lwa wiiki. Ate nga nabo balina families zaabwe, balina abaana be baweerera, balina abafamily ab'enganda n'ebigwa mu mbeera y'obwetaavu bwabwe.
The Imam of the day, Sheikh Abubakar Nsoboga, urged Muslims to fear Allah and fast the 6 days of Sittat.
In Islam, the Prophet Muhammad was given a chance and was given to be rewarded the rewards of somebody who has fasted a full year. Whoever conducts the 60 days and the month of Ramadan.
Muslims were also asked to respect their leaders and focus on bonding family ties,
such as the Imams, the Muadhins, LOC1s, and even up to the national level. We should respect them. And you know that Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala is the one who selected for us those elders or leaders. We should respect them by following what they are telling us to do.
The increasing moral decadence, especially among the youth, was castigated.
Okuwasa mu kitwale nga kikulu n'okufuna mu kitwale nga kikulu tubeere nga tuzaala ng'abasiraamu obusiraamu buwera na kuzaala naye ng'ekikolwa ky'ebisiyaga kibi nnyo. Omuntu ali ebisiyaga Allah yamukolimira era omulembe mulamba gwazikirira lwakulya bisiyaga.
The Muslim community here was implored to fear Allah and think about the rewards they have attained in the holy month, including surrounding themselves with good company, among others Sudat, Kaye and Nduga Nicholas. UBC News.
Muslim fraternity from different parts of the country Friday morning flocked mosques to celebrate Eid al-Fitr. Various sheikhs and qadis preached against homosexuality and murder as they urged Muslims to continue with the good behavior they exhibited during the holy month of Ramadan. Details follow.
Muslims in Nira City Friday morning converged at Idi Amin Mosque to join the rest of the world to celebrate Idi al-Fitr. The district Qadi Sheikh Ishaka Ismail Nangoye urged the Muslims to remain united. He called upon security to quickly establish what led to the stabbing of one of their imams in Bata.
So surprised, I've had a bad message from Bata, which is saying my imam of one of the mosques in Bata was stabbed with knife so many times and was beaten, and the imam was coming from the mosque to lead the prayers. So I'm so shocked, and I'm asking the security, the government, to help and intervene and find out why this imam was stabbed with.
In Kanungu at Kanungu Mosque, Muslims urged government to give them an alternative to paying interest on money they borrow through government programs because it is not allowed in their teaching. This was during Eid al-Fitr prayers, where ICT Minister Chris Payumonsi was a chief guest.
Government to get it passed, just to get it passed, to give money which is not interest inside, to get it passed in like parish model, to get a coffee and whatever. Secondly,
actually should take place because we want to use different channels, different platforms, including faith-based platforms, to reach out to our people to participate in these government programs which are aimed at emancipating all of us, especially the poor.
At Iganga Municipal Primary School playgrounds, the district Qadi Iganga Sheikh Sinani Mwanika asked Muslims to give out to those in need. At Mecca Mosque, the Deputy Regional Qadi Busoga Sheikh Hassan Mwaita urged leaders of mosques within the region to improve hygiene within their mosques to avoid an outbreak of diseases like cholera.
Yetufunira uzu yona nchafu ino kali twakubiriza new administration okuva ku muzigiti paka ku nkomerero buli omu abe musaale okubona nti emizigiti gyaife giba miyondo.
While in Mbale during Eid prayers at Kali Mosque in Mbale City, the Bugisu Regional Qadi Sheikh Isa Masaba Pole condemned the act of homosexuality and called upon Ugandans to desist from such evil vices. Relatedly, the management of Sino Industrial Park Mbale has donated assorted items to Muslim community in Mbale City as a gift for Eid al-Fitr celebrations.
It's a lot of food which we distributed to the Muslim community in Mbale. Even last year they gave us the same thing, and this year it's the same thing. So we are really very grateful.
The NRM Women's League chairperson Lydia Wanyoto, who also attended the prayers, explained that NRM supports the anti-homosexual bill to be passed into law, but only guided on some clauses. Parliament has to align for the bill to be assented to by the President.
The clauses that relate to the rights in the Constitution of Uganda, the Bill of Rights in Article 4 of the Constitution, but also the crimes as prescribed in the Penal Code. For every crime, there must be a prescription in the Penal Code of the punishment.
In Fort Portal Tourism City at Kabalore Main Mosque, Muslims have been urged to maintain holiness observed during Ramadan season and shun the wrong acts that can divert them from Allah. Sheikh Abdul Hakim Karim, the district Qadi Kabalore, urged parents to groom their children in religion to overcome worldly temptations, citing the homosexuality evil in the country.
A person is able to maintain his conduct, the norms, the custom, but all that is being done when a person knows the religion.
Sheikh Swaibu Tibenda, the county Sheikh Fort Portal Tourism City, expressed worry over the increasing theft, citing land disputes on Muslim land and the Iron Sheet saga in the country.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allah.
Still about Eid al-Fitr, mosques in Uganda have been filled to the brim as Muslims in Uganda celebrate Eid al-Fitr. Our reporters have been across the country and report that the message almost everywhere focused on unity, corruption and the anti-homosexuality bill, as you're about to witness.
Luwero Muslim District Qadi Sheikh Ramadan Mulindwa has urged Ugandans to respect and embrace the prevalent peace across the country to empower themselves economically, socially and politically.
As Ugandans, we have a collective responsibility to ensure that we keep the peace that we are enjoying today, which was brought by the NRM government. Let us be very generous by keeping the peace at our villages, keeping peace at our workplaces, keeping peace wherever we go as Ugandans.
This was during Eid al-Fitr prayers at Luwero main Muslim district headquarters, during which he also reminded men to take financial responsibility for their families to avoid vices like homosexuality. Katikamu North Legislator Dennis Sekabira tasked government to facilitate development of Luwero, which is the political mecca that can ably grow minus the incessant corruption.
There is no link whatsoever between Mecca and Luwero.
Masindi District Qadi Sheikh Yahaya Mugisa Safiani was insistent on his appeal for the anti-homosexuality bill to become law. At Kijura Mosque, Sheikh Mohammed Sozi asked Muslims to be peaceful as they celebrate Eid with help to the needy at the forefront.
Tusaba gavumenti tujebaza olw'okufuba kwefubye kulaba nga ejja abantu baayo mu bwavu. Pulezidenti waffe tumwebaza kubanga tuteereddewo ebitongole bingi, tuteereddewo emyoga, tuteereddewo PDM n'ebirala okulaba nti abantu bakola bave mu bwavu.
Muslims around the world have celebrated the holy feast of Eid al-Fitr, which follows one of the pillars of the Muslim faith of fasting. Now, the pillars of the Muslim faith include profession of faith, shahada, prayer, salat, zakat, fasting, Ramadan, and pilgrimage, Hajj, which many have honored to the holy city on this Eid day and made the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia a great spectacle.
وأصيلا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله.
Well, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Kataha Museveni, has met with His Excellence Jan Sadek, the Ambassador and Head of the European Union delegation to Uganda, with whom they held a dialogue on the EU programs and possible areas of cooperation. Take a look.
The EU Ambassador, accompanied by the Head of Cooperation, Karin Aldrensen, paid a courtesy call on the First Lady at State House Nakasero. The EU envoys updated the First Lady on the various areas that the EU and government of Uganda are cooperating in and the 3 priorities that have been defined for collaboration in the coming 7 years. Mrs. Museveni expressed the need for more comprehension of the current programs that the Ministry of Education and Sports and the EU can cooperate in.
I think we need to really pick up on our cooperation. I believe we could do a lot more together if we can learn about what areas we can cooperate in. It would help to focus on what we can do together and do it well. I know we could learn ever so much about what you do and your methods of work that sustain what you do. And it would help us to really do a good job on whatever we set ourselves to do.
She talked about her desire to introduce an identification system in Uganda's education sector, similar to the Swedish identification number system, where everyone has a unique number throughout life, right from birth. She urged that this will help bring some discipline in the education system, because if every learner had a unique number, it would be easy to track data pertaining to individuals, especially in the examination process.
If there is any way we can benefit from the Swedish system, really, to help our national identity system, I would be so grateful. And I specifically wanted to start with the education system, because it helps with examination and to track all the data.
The minister also pointed out the challenge of wearing santal towels for the girl child and said she is looking for funding to enable the production of santal towels on a large scale and which will be easily accessed by the young girls. Mrs. Museveni drew attention to the commendable work that the EU funded in Karamoja region under the Peace Recovery and Development Plan for northern Uganda during the time she was the Minister for Karamoja Affairs. This, she said, included construction of police stations and drilling of dams for water for animals, among others. According to Ambassador Jean Sadek, 3 main priorities of the EU program defined for collaboration in Uganda for the coming 7 years are green transition, jobs and growth, and governance matters. He acknowledged Uganda's generosity to refugees and said that the refugee response is an important aspect of the EU and government of Uganda relationship. He reported that together with other ambassadors from the EU partner states, visited Kisoro district in February and witnessed the challenge of the refugee influx in the country, and they have stepped up their funding to the refugee response.
We also very much acknowledge the Ugandan generosity in terms of refugees. So you're taking from South Sudan, from DRC. So I would say that the refugee response is a very important aspect of the EU-Uganda relationship that we think we are, taking seriously the matter and also making available funding for UNHCR and for the Ugandan response.
Reporting for UBC, Bakma William.
Former Vice President Dr. Wandera Specioza Kazibwe has called for the establishment of a council to corruption-related issues in the country. Kazibwe, who was Uganda's first Vice President, says that dishonesty fuels corruption, adulteration of peace and moral decadence. This was during an exclusive interview with the UBC News crew. Watch.
Even the money we have now, if we used it efficiently, we wouldn't need to borrow.
Former Vice President Dr. Specioza Wandera Kazibwe says the mission to end corruption in the country has called for honest and a collective effort to stop corruption.
You find that people with the money seem to be the ones who are above the law. So they go around, they cause people to actually be treated as criminals.
The Senior Presidential Advisor on Population and Health Issues says the fight against corruption is a daunting challenge that can only be overcome with honesty and a patriotic spirit.
When you see things happening like this, is where you go back to the Constitution. How do you handle leaders who are corrupt and will not stand down? If you are accused and there is a charge put upon you for that act, recuse yourself from the position which is related to that act.
This was during an exclusive interview with Uganda Broadcasting Corporation news crew in Kampala, where the former VP blamed weak law enforcement, impunity and disrespect of the constitution as some of the habits fueling corruption in the country.
Is where you catch the thief and you find them in the hole and you leave them free to hang around. And somebody has even taken back. That is enough evidence to show that you committed the act. Do you have the moral authority to remain minister? Some of them are saying they actually took them to their constituencies for public good. That is diversion, because that money was not voted for a church in your constituency.
The former vice president proposes for the establishment of a Senate and independent punitive body to identify and respond to any sign of corruption in accordance to the laws of the land.
Because it's like there's an impasse in the government now. We envisaged that situation. In the CA, you go to the Hansard. So this body will go to the Hansard and pull out all those views the Constituent Assembly Hansard. Really, we must have that dialogue as Uganda, non-partisan. In the parties, there is corruption. In the what, there is corruption. So you have a corrupt mind, corrupt body, corrupt thoughts. So when somebody comes to you and you know you are corrupt in one way, making a decision which is good for Ugandans, you even fear, because you are at gunpoint, that person will expose you.
Kaziwe's argument is based on the fact that President Yoweri Museveni, in his wisdom, is always committed to institute a result-oriented cabinet within which individuals later let him down.
That man we call our president is a good man, but we let him down. We the people who under the Constitution, he's ultimately accountable, but the Constitution gives him the powers to delegate to officials things to do. Do they do them? When they don't do them, what happens?
Kaziwe says Uganda is a God-fearing country which bases its leadership on the biblical teaching that seeks to get a corrupt-free nation.
Give us this day our daily bread. So why should I steal to secure tomorrow? How will I know I will be there tomorrow? Give us this day our daily bread. So I do my best today, and God will secure my tomorrow.
The news crew had sought for her views on a wide range of issues prevailing in the country.
The problem is with us, the Ugandans. A lot of knowledge, we don't give it to the people. A lot of knowledge about the law, we don't educate the people. Otherwise, the Constitution itself is a very beautiful document.
Daniel Mugoya, Stephen Kalisia, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Daniel Mugoya, for that refreshing interview with the very first Vice President, Space User Kaziwe. Moving on from that, Uganda's education system is aiming to produce graduates with skills that are competitive on the labour market. This is according to Alfred Chaka, the Assistant Commissioner of Secondary Education at the Ministry of Education and Sports. Chaka made the remarks while speaking to students and teachers at Chibambe Girls Secondary School in Muganga, Fort Portal City.
Uganda's education system is targeting to produce graduates with skills that are competitive. In his remarks to students and teachers of Chibambe Girls Secondary School in Fort Portal City, the Assistant Commissioner Secondary, Alfred Chaka, says students completing the lower secondary curriculum will be employable.
This curriculum was introduced to address and to provide employable skills to the senior 4 graduates as they finish the lower secondary, and also to be able to demonstrate what competencies or abilities they have acquired through the 4 years of lower secondary.
The Directorate of Industrial Training is sensitizing and inspecting the preparedness of the curriculum that is meant to equip learners with employable skills so that they can start up income-generating activities when out of school.
These students of ours who are now the champions of this new innovation are very lucky, majorly because at the end of the 4 years, they will be showing to the world, one, the competencies they have acquired, the skills they have attained, and what they can actually do. But at the same time, they will also be demonstrating to the world what they have attained academically.
The Principal Qualifications Officer in charge of assessment and certification, Johnson Turiamusimira, says online registration of candidates is ongoing. All universal secondary education candidates are exempted from paying registration and assessment fees.
I appeal to all the secondary schools in this country to register all their students in Senior 3, and our registration is online. They can contact DIT head office for support, and all students should be registered.
The head teacher, Chebambe Girls Secondary School, Gidudu Esther, says the lower curriculum is more practical and user-friendly.
In their activities of integration, the children are coming up with projects that are solving societal or community problems. So the new secondary curriculum is actually addressing issues of day-to-day living. It is more user-friendly, both for the learner, now that the learner has more touch with the material than they used to have, because the new lower secondary curriculum is more learner-centered than it is teacher-centered. The teachers are only around as instructors.
8 vocational subjects for the start to be assessed by the Directorate of Industrial Training in November are agriculture, art and design, entrepreneurship, performing arts, nutrition and food technology, ICT, physical education, technology and design.
Agriculture helps us to know most of the skills, like as we came here, some of us never knew how to dig, but for now we know how to dig. And agriculture, it's a source of income. For example, when you grow your plants, as they mature, you sell them, whereby you get money.
We're clearing the banana plantation, and others are pruning, others are mulching, so that can be quick productivity. This mulching helps to control soil erosion. It controls the quick maturity of the weeds that will absorb some nutrients that are supposed to be for the banana. We like it because it is improving on our skills, whereby these things will be helping us in the future. And when we get unemployment in agriculture, it is very helpful.
Each student will sit for only one occupation according to competence and convenience. I'm Nafka Farida and Ganga Henry.
Thank you so much, Nafka Farida. The Red Cross Society in Kasese district is ready to evacuate disaster victims after establishing evacuation sites in areas that are prone to disasters. This follows Uganda National Meteorological Authority's forecast of heavy rains in Kasese district in May this year.
Every May, Kasese district experiences heavy rains that cause loss of lives and property due to flooding of major rivers in the district. To mitigate future calamity, Uganda Red Cross Society, together with other development partners, have established evacuation centers in Karusanda sub-county, Kasese district.
200 capacity, they can take up 200 people, and we are doing a simulation to actually see if an emergency happens, can these tents be put up in record time? Can the community members accept them? Can the partners bring in contribution to sustain their deployment?
The Director, Disaster Management Uganda Red Cross Society, Dr. Brian Kanahe, explains that Kasese district remains one of the districts likely to receive heavy rains that may lead to flooding.
Let's trigger the disaster management contingency plan of Kasese and have some early actions before an emergency happens.
He also notes that the Red Cross Society has already engaged communities through training them to dig trenches that will help in controlling running water from getting into people's homes.
So we worked with the community to put up channels, drainage channels, to open up drainage channels. We have provided sanitation digging kits to at least 196 people to be able to put the drainage systems in place such that the community level flooding is reduced in case it happens.
Kasese District Vice Chairperson Hamna Twera commended Uganda Red Cross Society for the innovations, adding that other new evacuation centers will come on board in other parts of the district.
Evacuation center. This evacuation center we have agreed in Kasese. We are going to have one here in Karusandara, and we are planning another one in Mohocha, where in case of any problem.
The residents have requested government through the Office of the Prime Minister to come on ground and assess the challenges they go through for effective remedy.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with business stories.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom Voice Bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Mbara and Jinja.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *100*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*10#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, under the auspices of the East African Community, will host the 10th East African Petroleum Conference and Exhibition 2023 from the 9th to the 11th of May 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel in Uganda. Take full advantage of the investment opportunities in the East African region's vibrant oil and gas sector. To find out more on how to sponsor, exhibit, or attend the 10th EAPCE 23, visit www.eapce23.eac.int.
It's the encounters with our majestic gorillas, the thrill of taking on the falls of the Nile River, the joy of discovering new traditions, and a lot more. Join us at the 2023 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo from the 26th to the 29th of April at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo. Rediscover our country's uniqueness and see what the tourism sector has in store for you. Visit www.poate.co.ug to secure your spot and get set to learn, network, and explore. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board in partnership with Competitiveness and Enterprise Development Projects. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *100*10# to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100*10#. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100*10# to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
You're still watching UBC News tonight, and it's just 18 minutes to 9 p.m. We continue with our business stories, where the East African crude oil pipeline officials have launched a liaison office in Masaka City intended to address issues of the people affected by the oil pipeline within the district of Greater Masaka. The Deputy Managing Director of ECOP Uganda, Engineer John Bosco Habumugisha, explains that the office is intended to enhance its presence in the project areas in the different hub locations along the pipeline. Take a look.
Districts of Greater Masaka have acquired an East African crude oil pipeline liaison office. The office will benefit people of Rengo, Gomba, Sembabule, Rakai and Chotera districts. The Deputy Managing Director, ECOP Uganda, John Bosco Habumugisha, says ECOP is not involved in polluting the environment.
Of these elements that you have encountered, please bring them to us and we deal with them. I can assure you there is no district we cross where there are elephants. You know that. Now when you see pictures of people saying we have killed an elephant, what do you understand? Those are people who are anti-development.
He said the project is intended to fight poverty amongst Ugandans.
We were all able to say no to poverty, because poverty stands in the middle of progress, and that's one of the vices we must fight in our communities. Now ECOP is here to contribute to that journey.
Laura Sezi, the brand and communication strategist at Uganda National Oil Company, UNOC, says the availability of the office will create more business and employment opportunities for the people within Masaka sub-region.
The African crude oil pipeline is such a transformative project that it will not only create employment opportunities, but it's also going to play a key role in enhancing the social and economic development of Uganda. The pipeline will transport crude oil from Hoima to Tanga, as most of you know, and this will create a new route for Uganda to access global markets.
Which are supposed to be served by this office. The other Hoima, others come, we shall also be told. We shall come here when we have issues, and they will be solved from here.
This office in place, I hope we shall not lag anything behind. We shall always use this office to achieve successful implementation of the ECOP.
The Assistant Chief Administrative Officer, Lwengo District, Hasifwa Nabakoza, says that most of the promises made by the implementers were fulfilled.
Officials of Lwengo District, they are very grateful. They have received their funds. People are already sleeping in comfortable houses. So, as the technical team and on behalf of the political team, we are very grateful. We pledge to make.
Guilherme Lesage, Commercial Director ECOP, says ECOP is committed to seeing everyone benefit from the project.
We intend to protect environment, protect the country, and make sure that the impact that the pipeline may have will have no consequences or only positive consequences.
In more business stories, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries Extension workers at district level have been urged to utilize the available resources allocated to them to implement the presidential directive to train farmers in commercial agriculture. This was raised by Sir Grace Okiro, Commissioner at RDC's Secretariat in the Office of the President at the closure of a 5-day district extension workers training on promoting irrigation at National Farmers Leadership Center, Mpiji.
Yes, we can. Minister of Agriculture, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, through district extension workers, is committed to utilize the available resources to engage and train farmers in commercial agriculture in order to improve their livelihood. The Commissioner at the RDC's Secretariat in the Office of the President, Sister Grace Okilor, says practical skills in agriculture and mindset change can go a long way in ensuring people benefit from agriculture.
Go and make a difference. We talk of capacity building, that's why you're here. Mindset change, you've been changed. From here, go and make a difference in our people down there. There should be no place in this country where we hear of shortage of food. In Uganda, that should not be there.
Sister Kilor was presiding over the closing of a 5-day agriculture district extension workers training aimed at promoting irrigation and improving agricultural productivity held at the National Farmers Leadership Center, Kampiringisa, Mpigi. The acting principal agriculture officers in the Ministry of Agriculture, Odong Chizito, advised farmers to emphasize irrigation and crop rotation to promote agricultural productivity.
Take agriculture seriously, one, for ensuring household food and nutrition security, then secondly, for household income. That will lead to improvement of livelihoods, and that income will also help them to sort out some of the basic needs like clothing, like education, like health, and also shelter. The principal, National Farmers Leadership Center, Okwaja John Bosco, urged government through the Agriculture Ministry to open up more market opportunities for farmers.
So in most cases, if the rain is reliable, everything is okay, and the harvests are good, the challenge of market is also there. And then the fourth one, which we have promised as a family of agriculture to address, is the issue of extension workers being thin on what? On ground.
Sudat Kaye and Fred Kasibante, UBC News.
Jerry Con! Hey, Master Blaster! Touch him, man! Bang Jerry Con with muscle! Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava! Best movies I teach you. When I'm going to which Muscari, because of the camera is very far. Is you serious? It's yes, you. What can I watch? Eh? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs, and you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And the woman refused to give you enough meat. Show him that they don't joke with you.
Okakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako, n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga. Awamu teri kitulema.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
From the international scene, the Pentagon is positioning military forces near Sudan to help evacuate U.S. embassy personnel in Khartoum if needed amid the explosion of violence between the African country's two warring factions. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and other leaders are pushing for a ceasefire until at least Sunday. Now, VOA's senior diplomatic correspondent Cindy Sain reports from the State Department.
The World Health Organization says at least 330 people have been killed and about 3,200 others injured since fighting broke out Saturday between government forces and a paramilitary group in Sudan. State Department Deputy Spokesperson Vedant Patel said the U.S. condemns the violence in the strongest terms, and that Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been in contact with both sides and is calling on them to extend the ceasefire until at least Sunday.
We're engaging in this from all corners of the department and continue to have full accountability of our personnel. You saw the Pentagon put out a statement earlier today that through U.S. Africa Command, they are monitoring the situation closely as well and conducting prudent planning for various contingencies. And as they said, they are deploying additional capabilities nearby to the region should circumstances require it.
At the White House, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said U.S. Embassy staff members are sheltering in place, and no decision has been made yet on evacuation.
The focus right now is on urging both sides to stop this violence, to abide by a ceasefire, to allow humanitarian aid to get to people that need it. I mean, there's already shortages of food. There's concern over shortages of medicine and water. The situation is dire in Khartoum, and we continue to urge both sides now to stop this violence.
This call also came from UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres.
I appeal for a ceasefire to take place for at least 3 days, marking the al-Fitr celebrations, to allow civilians trapped in conflict zones to escape and to seek medical treatment, food, and other essential supplies.
There are estimates of up to 16,000 Americans in Sudan and about 70 U.S. Embassy staff members. The U.S. has some military forces stationed in the neighboring country of Djibouti, which experts say would likely be used for any evacuation operation. After hunkering down indoors since Saturday without electricity, many civilians in Khartoum and the surrounding areas are running out of water and the most basic supplies. With Khartoum's international airport shut down and its border with Chad closed, there are few good options for international aid workers and others to leave.
With freedom! Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
And last in our sports segment, the 4-day All-Africa Junior Golf Championship has climaxed with Ugandan delight at the Par 72 Lake Victoria Serena Golf Resort and Spa in Chigo.
I expected it when I spoke to them yesterday after the game. They were positive. Yeah, I was so tough on them. I mean, we've been on this course training for the last two weeks. So I expected it, just that in the 2 days they kind of put themselves under pressure. But I told them we don't need the pressure. You have the home. This is our home course, so we need to take advantage of it. And yeah, I mean, I told them to calm down, play their game, play their normal game. Yeah, and that's what made us take the second position.
First of all, this competition showed me that giving up is nothing. So we must stay focused and never give up. That's the most important thing.
A 3-day active communities initiative training of trainers workshop has climaxed at Win 5 Hotel in Kampala. It was organized by Uganda Olympic Committee's Sports for Social Development Commission and attracted more than 80 participants, as you're about to witness. Watch.
Ugandans have been reminded of relevance of physical exercise, especially for their health, this with a special emphasis on reducing non-communicable diseases. This was at the closure of a 3-day active communities initiative training of trainers workshop by the Uganda Olympic Committee at Win 5 Hotel in Kampala.
As the Uganda Olympic Committee, we are very happy to be, through our commission, doing this active communities program where we are dealing with parish instructors at parish level. And the idea is that we'd like to build a cadre or a group of fitness instructors at parish level who will go out into the communities and conduct active sessions. So the idea is that by having active communities, we engage the community in sport, in movement, and doing active a series of active activities with a sports base, and that this we believe will lead into not only creating healthy lives but also combat non-communicable diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease.
This was an initiative by Uganda Olympic Committee, which is dubbed Active Communities Initiative, where we train about 80 instructors to go to the parishes where they come from and keep the community fit.
The workshop that also addressed the key issue of nutrition attracted more than 90 participants.
With this opportunity, I've gained skills and knowledge of how to do it, whereby I'll go back to the community and teach them.
The recipients have been advised to be disciplined and approach corporate entities to grow their trade towards economic improvement. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
Uganda's women cricket team, the Victoria Pearls, are in the Victoria Series finals with a game to spare after they edged Tanzania by 3 runs in the team's penultimate group game. In a nervy game played at the Lugogo Cricket Oval, today's reduced overs of 15 per side because of the morning rain. The Victoria Pearls were elected to bat first, setting a score of 79 runs for 8 wickets, which Tanzania chased but fell short by 3 runs with a total of 76 runs all out. Uganda's team captain Konsi Aweko was very instrumental in the win, picking 4 wickets for the team, which gave the team a winning advantage. Now Uganda is the only country without a loss in the series and will hope to claim the series trophy on Sunday when they face Tanzania. The group games conclude tomorrow on the 22nd of April 2023 at the Lugogo Cricket Oval, with Uganda against Kenya in the morning and Tanzania against Rwanda in the afternoon. For more news, to join me again at 10 p.m. My name is Sharon Choncha. Thank you so much for watching the 8 p.m. bulletin that has come to an end at exactly 9 p.m. Have a good night.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or gift.
Get freaky too! Dial *100 *10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *100 *10 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *100 *10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
مرحب مرحب يا هلال، أهلا أهلا كيف الحال؟ قد غبت وإليك اشتقنا، وانتهى بعدك صار وصال. نعطي صبرا نأخذ أجرا، والله يا